Hi, it's David here from Elevate Founders, and this is our little series on personality profiling, just on one small part of it, and that is power, affiliator and achiever people. And this is the first one, so we're going to look at power people. So what is a power person? What is someone who likes power? Well, it's typically someone who will assume control of things, who will quickly take responsibility for things. They'll want to build a team, they'll want to build influence and people around them. Now, in a really positive way, they tend to be people who drive people together, they bind people together. They're usually quite strong leaders. They'll usually often be quite autocratic. They'll say something, gather everyone around them and try to make it happen. Now that's all really positive, that's good. That's often what you want in a leader. But they will assume control, and they like control over things. They like to have their influence over them. And quite quickly in teams, people will quite often build a power base. If someone's naturally a power person, they'll look to establish a power base with people. Now that could be really positive and really good, but they can often build their own kind of empires. They can look to sort of build their own little spheres of influence that are very much shaped around them and what they want to happen. So for examples of power-based people, Jose Mourinho, football manager, real power person. He often uses language like, this is my team, they're my players, this is my club. Even when he's left clubs, he's referred to previous clubs as, they're still my clubs, they're still my players. That's often quite telltale language for a power person. Another one would be some Margaret Thatcher. Very strong leader, would drive through what she wanted to happen. But sometimes, and often they surround themselves with people who are kind of who will affiliate with them, who will let them take control and will often say yes to them, which is often to their long-term detriment. So here are some of the strengths of the power people. They get things done, they will assume responsibility, they will bring people together, and they will drive things forward. However, those things are in a lovely, healthy place. It's all good. But it can move to an unhealthy place. All of these different types have got real positives, real strengths, and some weaknesses as well. And the weaknesses of power people is they will often protect their power base over sometimes what's right for the environment. So they will assume, they will take their control and they will protect that position of control and authority above what is beneficial for the organisation and above what's beneficial sometimes even for themselves, just to keep that control. Not always, but that's what can happen in an unhealthy place. They can also overextend their power. Power people like to have more power, so they'll often build their sphere of influence, they'll build out their little tribe, their little empire, until finally they've reached a point where they can't really control it as much. A good example of that might have been Alexander the Great, who wanted to conquer the whole world, but as the more he conquered, the more of a strain that put on. So that can be some of the downsides of power people. Now, how do you motivate a power person? Well, how do you keep them close? Well, power people are naturally motivated towards getting power, having authority, having ownership of something. So that's a great way to motivate someone who's naturally a power person. Give them some authority over an area. Give them some influence and some control over what they do. They don't particularly like to be micromanaged, so perhaps say to them, look, this is entirely your responsibility. You come back to me with how you want to run this department, how you want to run your projects, how you want to organise your work. That is great stuff for a power person. But they also need to know the extent, where that power ends, so that you might want to check and say to them that all of that obviously needs to be signed off by me at the end. And power people will generally respond pretty well to that. Now, that's the toward motivator. So that's what they're going to be motivated towards doing. They're going to be motivated away from things that could take that power away. So think of an area where if things aren't going well, or if they're not hitting deadlines, they're not hitting their core responsibilities, you might want to say to a power person, look, if this is too much, we can look at taking some of these responsibilities off you and giving them to someone else. That, for a power person who's away from motivated, will be a big motivator, because they want to keep that control, they want to keep that power base that they've built up. So hopefully there's a couple of tips in there. So that's the first one, so that's power people. The next one we're going to look at is achievers. But please, if you've got any questions around power people, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to answer them and love to hear your thoughts and your feedback. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more top coaching tips that are going to help you grow as a leader and grow your business, please please subscribe to the YouTube channel on the link below, and follow us on LinkedIn on the link too.